Well, hi, first grade. So today you should be watching this video on April 29th. You read a story yesterday called All Kinds of Helpers. And at the back of the book, it talks about, well, what is an author's purpose? The definition is the author's purpose is the reason why an author writes a selection. It says find text evidence. Find a clue to help you understand the author's purpose. So in yesterday's story, it says there are many kinds of helpers around you. Families love you, and teachers help you learn. Doctors, nurses, and safety helpers keep you healthy and safe. Special groups help you in special ways. All of them give what is needed and useful. So that's actually from the story that you read yesterday. So looking at here, there are two boxes. It says clue, another box that says clue, and another box that says author's purpose. That's what you're going to be doing today with our new story called Meet Rosina. So I'm going to just read over this just so that you're aware of the information from yesterday's story so that you are feeling a little bit more confident doing it again for today's story. So it says, families love you and teachers help you learn. That was from the story. Another clue is doctors, nurses, and safety helpers keep you healthy and safe. So that's from the story as well. The author's purpose. Now this isn't in the story. This is where you have to think of, well, answering the question, why is the author writing this? It's to help you know that there are many people helping you in many ways. So here's a clue that are helping you. Here's another clue about people that are helping you. So that was yesterday's story. So let's go ahead and start with today's story. Meet Rosina. All right. Let's actually make this full screen because let's be honest, we're going to be able to read the book with nice big print. All right. So it says Meet Rosina. Now, if you notice at the top, there's a bunch of hands doing some weird gestures or different gestures. That's called American Sign Language. So what we're going to learn about Rosina and why she uses sign language. So it says the essential question this week is who helps you? So you're going to learn about a girl who is a lot like you. All right, let's start with our title together. Meet Rosina. Oh, I'm going to pause just for a moment. You should be using your practice page 286, and it's just going to look like the previous page that had the two boxes using clue and the other box that says author's purpose. So that's what you're going to be doing, but for this story. All right, flip the page. Move myself up a little bit more. There you go. All right, it says, hi, I'm Rosina. I am deaf, so I talk with my hands. So why do you think she's talking with her hands? So think for a moment, why would a girl, because you and I talk with our mouths, why is she talking with her hands? So I see that Rosina is making gestures, and the text says what she's saying. So I'm making the educated guess that she uses her hands to then communicate. All right, let's flip the page. All right, reading together. I go to a special school for deaf children. All of my teachers teach in American Sign Language. We call this signing. We study math, writing, reading, and art. It's the same as in other schools. My brother, Emilio, also goes to my school. We play basketball during recess. So this story, and we've talked about fiction and nonfiction. Fiction meaning it's a made-up story, it didn't happen. Sometimes there's cartoons. When we talk about nonfiction, we're talking about it's an actual person in real life, and it's usually like their story. So when I'm reading this nonfiction, I look for what the author wants readers to know. So I read that Rosina, she goes to a special school for deaf children, and her teachers use signing to teach. But she studies the same subjects and plays the same games at recess as children in other schools like you do. So I have to ask myself why the author wrote these facts. Why would he tell me that? So these are clues that will help us understand the author's purpose. So let's add this to our chart on our practice book page. So I'm going to reshare, and I think this will work. Figuring out technology. Okay, so we are going to write, oh, maybe I don't want to use pencil. Let's do, okay. So we just read about some of the things at Rosina's school. Some of them are similar to our school and some of them are different. So we're going to write it down. You're going to need to write small. All right. So Rosina goes to a special school. Don't worry about the squiggle underneath. It's just not recognizing her name. She goes to a special school for deaf children. Let's see. Her school is similar to other schools, except they use, and we're going to capitalize ASL. All right, so that is just short for saying American Sign Language. Pausing just for a moment, my cat wants to get in the room. Yeah, I'll leave the door open for her. Okay, so this would be a good moment to pause the video just so that you can catch up with writing the information for clue number 1. So unfortunately, the way that this computer works is that I'm not able to then scoot the information back into the box. So make sure all of these 2 sentences stay in this box. So go ahead and pause the video, but I'm going to keep going. Okay. Flipping the page, unfortunately, the cat wants my attention, so we're going to move the cat. Come on, there you go. All right. All right, let's keep reading. My mother and aunt are deaf too. They both work at my school. Mom is a teacher's helper. My Aunt Carla shows us pictures of students who used to go to the school. My mom was one of them. My aunt often tells stories about when my parents were young. So she's giving a lot more information in regards to, or the author is giving more information in regards to Rosina's background and a little bit more about her school. So it tells us that the mom is a teacher's helper. So currently the mom works at the school. She's a volunteer. But on this page, it says that my mom was one of the students that went to the school. So that is to tell me, that gives me a clue that the mom is probably also deaf. And that she went to the school, and now her children are going to the school. So we're learning a little bit more about Rosina's family. All right, flip the page. Sometimes we go to the school library. Our librarian, Hetty, signs stories from the books in the library. Hetty is good at telling stories. She makes us feel as if we're in the story. The story can make us feel sad, scared, worried, or happy. Okay, so here they're talking about when they go to the library. Well, you guys go to the library, but what's different about her school was that they have a librarian who doesn't read the story word for word. What she does is she uses her hands to then sign and communicate the story to the children. So she's able to make them feel as if they're in the story. So she really tries to use her facial expressions and use her hands more vigorously to express something, or maybe a little softer to express something. All right, flip the page. Together. I love going to art class. I like to paint. Here I am painting a picture of myself. Our class made up a story. It is about a deaf father who wakes up one day with 4 arms. We wrote it and did all the drawings. Then we made it into a book called Too Many Hands. So here, she's talking about that she enjoys art class. Now, I know a lot of you enjoy art class. So it seems like you're having a lot in common with Rosina. So some of you like doing art, so does Rosina. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to make our animal book, but it seems like they're making a book too. So it's not only Rosina that has similarities to you, but it seems like the kids themselves are very similar to you. All right, flipping the page. All right, together it says, I like sports. We are playing rugby. The way we play is to tag the person carrying the ball. Then he or she throws it to another player on the team. By running fast, we can get away and cross the goal line. Our team played other schools. We beat all of the other teams and accepted a big trophy. We were so happy. We splashed our coach in water. Some of us got wet too. We are all friends, so no one got mad. Okay, so now they're talking about what? So if I'm looking at the pictures, if you're just kind of reading along and you're just kind of, oh, okay, I'll just mimic what Ms. White is saying. Well, look at the pictures. What are they talking about? It seems like they're talking about sports, right? So here, I see the kids wearing a certain striped colored shirt, and they're holding a ball. What are they playing? Rugby. So some of you may not have heard of rugby before, but rugby is a type of sport that's kind of similar to soccer, but it's kind of similar to football. So this is a very physical game, which is great for them to be able to get physically active, right? Practice teamwork. I know a lot of you are on sports teams. So let's add this to our group. So it's talking about, it says Rosina likes to play sports, and she plays on a rugby team. And her team won a trophy and then celebrated. So we're going to add these clues to our chart. Let's see, new share, back to our page, excellent. Okay. So we're going to write, again, I need you to write small. Rosina likes to play sports. The players, let's see, on her team are all friends. Okay, so just do the best you can with getting into the box. It's okay if it spills over on the side, that's totally fine. But try and limit so it doesn't get into the author's purpose. Okay, this is a good opportunity to pause the video so you can finish writing up the rest of the words in this box. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, flipping the page. Oops, too many. It says, after school, I shower and change clothes for dinner. Mom likes to fix my hair. She puts it up in a bun like her mother did. At home, we all help Mom cook meals. I chop lettuce. Emilio cuts up cheese. Dad makes guacamole. This sounds awfully similar to my family, right? We cook meals together, we help each other. I sometimes will do my niece's Emily's hair. All right, flipping the page. After dinner, Dad and I play a game of chess. Emilio roots for me. Mom, Dad, Emilio, and me. That's my family, but there are more too. All right, flipping the page. All right, together. We are a big family. I have lots of aunts, cousins, grandpas, and grandmas. Most of my mom's family is deaf. My whole family uses sign language to talk to each other. This is how we sign goodbye. That's very similar to us. Okay. So, we could probably add a lot more information to our clue box. There's a lot of things, and it's totally okay if you have other ideas and you didn't want to write the ones for our clue box. Actually, let me see if there's any more pages. Nope, there's not. So that is the end of the story. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. Let's go back to our author's purpose. So what information did you read about Rosina? There was a lot of information about her on our pages. So if you were to go back into the story and think about, what did she like to do? Where did she go to school? Who does she spend time with? What does she do when she goes home after school? So the real question, now that you've kind of thought about, well, what's Rosina's life like? The real question to answer this bottom one is, what does the author want readers to learn about? Take about 10-20 seconds and think about it. Okay, so let's start way over here. There you go. So the author's purpose, so this is kind of my general understanding of the story, and you might have something different. So please don't feel like, oh, I have to write what Miss Whiter says because she's always right, which we know that's not true. Whatever clues that you wrote, whether they matched mine or they were a little different, what are these clues telling us about what the author wants us to know? So I think it's to give us information about a girl who is deaf, right? So that's one part of it. So it tells us about Rosina. Yes, she's deaf. What is that like? She's not speaking with her mouth, she uses her hands. She doesn't go to a school like you and I would. She goes to a school where the teachers sign to communicate, not using their words. She goes to a special school So they're talking about the differences of Rosina, but they also talk about the similarities because there's a lot of information, like playing sports and doing art. They're very similar to me or even for you. So we're going to write that about Rosina or write about the story. But let's see. So we wrote to give us information, and it's okay that this is not capitalized, all right? This isn't really a sentence, it's more just information. So it's to give us information about a girl who is deaf, goes to a special school, but whose activities are the same as, let me pull it up underneath, are the same as other children her age. Okay, so that's a lot of information. So go ahead and write that down. My suggestion is to pause the story so that you're able to finish this up. I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to go back to the story. So back at the beginning of the story, it shows Rosina using her hands to make her name. So it's Rosina. So that makes her name. So my activity for you, and let me see if I can get to the page. I've got a fun activity for you guys. So just like Rosina uses sign language to communicate, so can you. You're going to take a photo of yourself creating each letter in your name or videotape yourself signing your name. So you may want to do like what Rosina did and take a picture of your hand doing each one and then send me that. Or you could send me a video of you signing your name. So if I were to do my name, and don't worry, I have the alphabet here. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. So it might be this one, it might be this one, but I really like this one. This one's super cool. Okay, it's all the same thing, but it's just to help you with writing your name. So if I were to sign my name, and I'm going to use this one, okay? So I would say M-I-S-S for Miss, W-E-I-D-E-R. So that is what I've made. My name, Miss Whiter. I want you to use your first name. Make it simple on yourself. Now, if you want to do your last name, totally go for it. But I want you to realize that there's more than one way of communicating. Just like how we use in our class of using the different hand gestures to get my attention for tissue or bathroom or pencil, you can do the same thing with saying letters or saying words. So this is a really cool activity, and knowing that some of the people that we might come across are not able to communicate using their words, but they use their hands to communicate their thoughts. Okay, so that's the assignment for today. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions or if you need some help. Maybe we can practice some sign language together. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.